participation.
Okay, I would like to call the City of Covington emergency meeting dated September 2nd, 2021 at 5 p.m. Central Time to order. We are calling this September 2nd, 2021 meeting to order, addressing the response and recovery in the aftermath of Hurricane Ida that occurred on August 29th, 2021. I would like to go ahead and go right into roll call, please.
Councilman Lewis.
Here.
Councilman Botsford.
Here.
Councilman Roberts.
Here.
Councilwoman Ludwig.
Here.
Councilman Barrett.
Here.
Councilman Smith.
Here.
Councilman Rowley.
Here. Before I go right into, we do have to do an introduction of this item, and then we'll go ahead and go into a public hearing of the action item. But beforehand, and I know the council will have some comments when we go into council comments after I read the public hearing action item number 2021-09. But as everybody knows, you know, we've suffered some damage in the city of Covington and the surrounding areas, and I think we've all been touched in some way by our families, our personal properties, etc. And obviously, the citizens of Covington have suffered a lot of damage. I was there yesterday seeing it. It's heartbreaking. But I want to thank the mayor and administration. You have done a wonderful job. The department heads, the city employees, the council members have been out there. I know I've received texts and emails. I've gotten some of those, hearing from other people that have gotten them. And I appreciate everybody working so hard to help the community and the neighbors and the families, helping families. But obviously our city's strong. It's going to be definitely stronger sooner than later. So again, I wanted to thank everybody for all their hard work behind the scenes. And again, Aaron, you've done a wonderful job. We've talked almost every day, several times a day, to get this meeting together. So I'm going to go on the agenda. Item number 3, introduction of item number 2021-0901, an emergency ordinance of the City of Covington addressing response and recovery in the aftermath of Hurricane Ida. And we're going to go right into item 4 at this point. That doesn't have to be voted on or anything, or any comments on that regard. So I'm going to read aloud item 4, which is the public hearing action item number 2021-0901, an emergency ordinance of the City of Covington addressing response and recovery in the aftermath of Hurricane Ida. What I would like to do at this point, we're going to do it a little bit different. I want to go ahead and have the administration, the mayor, have some comments on why we need to do this and address anything that we need to know right now, because we obviously are blessed to have everybody, you know, on Zoom today to hear everything that the administration needs to tell us. And then we'll go into public, open for public comments, and then also close that and go into council comments, and then we'll have a vote. So whoever from the administration would like to speak, just unmute, and we'll love to hear from you.
Aaron?
Sorry about that. Mayor Mark, would you like to say something, or would you like me to explain it?
If I'm going to do any comments, they're going to be more general status update on the hurricane. As far as what we're doing here and why we're doing it, if you wouldn't mind sharing that.
Okay, so I can kind of give an overview of why we have requested that this ordinance be presented to the council for consideration. So we are in the response mode after the storm. We had issued an emergency declaration prior to the storm to allow us to respond. But what this ordinance does is it confirms that emergency declaration. It allows the city to use resources and enter into contracts as needed to respond. It enforces building code for safety, meaning that people will need to come in for permits if they need to do any sort of work on their properties to recover from the storm. However, this will waive permit fees for those people who are coming in for storm-related damage. And it allows us to kind of work with them on some of the permitting issues. Like one of the issues is we want to allow them to have pods if they need to move their furniture or anything like that. We'll work with them on permitting. And then it also regulates contractors to make sure that they are licensed contractors, and we will give them an ID pointing that out. So that's just some of the items that this covers. But the important thing here is that this will allow us to, it formally recognizes the emergency and it allows us to enter into contracts as needed, and we will report back to the council with those contracts on what those contracts are.
Thank you. Mayor, do you want to add anything before we open it up for public comment, and then we'll go to council comments?
No, I believe she covered it well.
Thank you. Joanne, if you don't mind muting, I appreciate it.
Muting who?
The whole room?
The whole room?
Well, yeah, I think it's just for that computer, but either way, that's fine. We just wanted to have the mute, but that's fine. It's no big deal either way.
Okay.
Okay, so at this time, what we're going to do is we will open it up for public comments. Joanne, have you received anything email? We did put an email blast to the emails that we had stating that this meeting was going to take place. Any response on that?
No, I haven't received anything.
Okay, so anybody present there that would like to comment publicly? Any public comments? Hearing none, seeing none. Okay.
Motion to close.
I'm sorry?
Motion to close public comment.
Right. If no more comments or any comments, hearing none, seeing none, obviously in the room there. Any objection to close the public hearing? There is none. I need a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close.
I need a second.
Second.
Okay, let's go right into any council comments before we take a motion to adopt. So let's go into council comments first. Obviously, we have the mayor there and Aaron's there. Is there any council comments at this point? Just kind of raise your hand to be recognized, and then you can unmute. Councilman Boxford.
So I just want to let everybody know something I clarified with Aaron, and Aaron dug into it and found out that if they're licensed through the state of Louisiana, they are insured for these contractors. So also they have reciprocating agreements between different states and stuff like that, but they still have to go through the same process and that they're insured. And I think that's really good. And thank you, Aaron, for looking into that for me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, appreciate it. Also, too, I mean, we dug a little deep on this. The same thing pretty much happened in Hurricane Katrina. So some of the language and everything, and live and learn from it. So again, the administration has done a good job on this. Rod has, also Joanne has too. So we appreciate it very much. Any other council comments? Councilman Lewis?
I just want to clarify a few things. With us, I guess verifying that the contractors have to have license. Are we open regular hours right now at the city hall?
They have to have a state contractor license.
Okay,
So if they go on a job, the building inspector or the code enforcement officer can ask to see their license, and then they will put a sticker up there. Or I don't know if they're checking in before, but that would be one of the two options. But the general idea is you got to get a sticker saying you're licensed to do work.
I guess that's all. What would the normal process be if somebody's watching to obtain that sticker?
So to answer your question about obtaining permits, so right now we are not currently open to the public. However, Chris Brown has made himself available through email, cell phone, anything like, I mean, people can reach out if they need to start getting a permit. We'll work with them either remotely, or if we need to, we can meet with them at City Hall. However, normally it's contractors that file for the permits, and that's when he looks to make sure that they're licensed.
So we communicated to the public today that you could still do the permitting process by contacting by email. Laura Mathern is working remotely. She's the one that handles that. Okay. And I've actually received an email that query, and I emailed them back and copied Laura and connected the two of them. In addition to that, they can still go online and print the permit application, fill it out by hand, drop it in the night box, and simply let Chris Brown know that they have a permit application. So even though City Hall itself is not open, it doesn't mean we're not functioning, particularly when it comes to permitting, and people being able to do repairs to their houses. Aaron, is there something in there about state of emergency and how that affects payroll and how we're under the declaration limited with who we can have on staff and at what time?
So, so basically what happens is once we issue an emergency declaration, our disaster plan goes into effect. And so what we are doing right now is focusing only on having employees working that are either responding directly to the emergency or that need to come in to make sure that essential governmental services or infrastructure are still functioning. So for instance, we pulled in some staff after the storm to start doing, infrastructure assessments. We pulled Chris Brown, he's doing drive-through windshield damage assessments. So we are focusing on making sure things like permitting, Nikita's been working on making sure zoning cases are still moving forward if necessary. UB, they're getting phone calls about some water lines or shutting down meters if they need to, but those are essential government services. And so what happens is those people, those employees that respond during an emergency under an emergency declaration are then eligible for disaster compensation, which is then reimbursed by FEMA. And so we are focusing heavily on that paperwork and how do we track and determine who needs to come in and help out. And so every employee right now has to be officially activated before they can come back to work. I hope that answers your question.
I have just one more. Number 11, number 2, line item number 2. Those amounts that can be transferred from the operating budget to cover any emergency expenses or shortfalls, it says will be reimbursed to the original line item. And my question is, will we assume the time frame would be once the city get reimbursed from FEMA? Are we assuming that's where that money would come back from?
Are you asking me at the timeline to get FEMA reimbursement?
To put it back in the original line item.
Well, so what we would do is we would basically have to pull some money from our general fund to cover any expenses up front. Right now, the federal government has said that any public assistance to local communities is going to be 100% covered for the first 30 days. And we anticipate that'll be extended, which is really good for us because normally it's a 75-25 match. But what's going to happen is, so we received the information to go ahead and set up our public assistance claim number. We're going to go ahead and get in their system. And we're going to start tabulating our costs and submitting them as soon as we can get them in. As far as timeline to get that money back, I really can't answer that question.
Oh, we lost Larry.
Hello?
We lost Larry. I'm trying to get him back. There he is.
I am so sorry. Okay. I don't know, it just totally dropped, but I'm good. I'm good. I got it. Thank you. Thanks. Okay. Did we have any other council comments? I know I missed like 4 minutes of that. I think, I'm not sure who was speaking. Aaron, I think you were.
Peter had 2 questions that got answered.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you. I apologize. The internet just went down, so I don't know what happened. So no other council comments. I don't see anyone raising their hand. Okay, we can move right along to motion to adopt. I need a motion to adopt, please.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Lewis,
Yes.
Councilman Bosford,
Yes.
Councilman Roberts,
Yes.
Councilwoman Ludwig,
Yes.
Councilman Barrett,
Yes.
Councilman Smith,
Yes.
Councilman Crowley.
Yes, before I lose internet. Okay, that being said, it has passed and I appreciate everybody being here. Obviously, if anybody wants to stay on, but this meeting is adjourned at 5:15. Y'all have a great day, safe travels if you're out of town, and Everybody stay safe, and we'll be in town soon. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, everybody, for doing your jobs.